Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the best small forwards in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM here on this tier list. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 11,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting off with Alexis Pokusevski, who is only a pink diamond, but I think is deserving of a B tier spot legitimately. Because number one, he's 7 foot. You can't teach size, but Hoff Limitless Takeoff and Posterizer, catch and shoot, bunch of great playmaking badges, Hoff clamps, solid defensive stats. I know the defensive badges aren't amazing, but he comes with a really good release as well. I think he's a very, very good card. It comes in B tier for me. I'll say this, it tends to be the case, and I think it probably is again today. I probably forgot one or two guys who deserve to be on this list. If that happens, I apologize. I'll mention it in the video, or y'all can leave a comment and let me know, and I'll let y'all know where I'd put these guys. But I think Poku, just because of the size and the budget ability, as well as the fact he's got really good SIGs and a very nice release, it does deserve to be a B tier guy, despite only being a pink diamond. AK is still an S tier small forward. He's a top tier small forward in the game. You could argue he's the best small forward in the game. I'm not sure I would argue that anymore, but he's at least near the top. If he was taller than 6'9", I think he definitely would be, but at only 6'9", I mean, he does have incredible SIGs, tray fade, a top tier release, one of the best defensive cards in the game. He's pretty easily S tier still for me. Same thing with Bill Russell. Awesome card. Another guy with a really good release. Just one of the best defensive cards in the game. Has good size at 6'10". Really good card as well. Also an S tier guy. I think Danny Ferry isn't S tier anymore. I think he's top of A tier. I really think that it's hard to put Danny Ferry in the S tier because S tier's top 5 guys, and Ferry is not, in my opinion, in the top 5 anymore. I think he's probably number 6, but top of A tier, still an incredible card, still really good size, still great SIG, still a really nice release. Elite level card, there's just so many good small forwards, including Dave Cowens, who's a card who's very overlooked. I did do a gameplay on this card, though, if you want to check him out. He's a collector level reward. Not very many people have him, but for those of y'all who do, y'all know how good Dave Cowens is in my team. Elite level release, really good defender, really good all-around card. He's a top tier small forward as well. I'm going to go Dennis Rodman and C. I just don't think he's gotten a good enough release. That's the main thing about Dennis that I don't like, is the fact that his release is not that good. He's not super well sized either, and his SIGs aren't incredible. Actually, I'm going to throw Dennis down in D tier because the small forward position is so deep that we have to have a few guys in D tier, and I don't think there's very many bad cards on this list. There's a couple, but not very many. So Detlef Shrimp's going to go B tier as well. Budget beast, good release, moves well, solid defender, really solid all-around budget card as well. Franz Wagner is a card that I have literally never used or looked at, so I don't know how good this card is. So I'm going to make an assessment right now. Solid all-around badge is the first thing I note. He's got good speed. He's a very solid all-around defender, especially on the perimeter. Great slasher, good shooter. This release on very quick is decent. SIGs are pretty good. He's got front clutches. He's a solid card. That's a B tier small forward right there. Definitely not bad at all. Giannis goes C. I just don't think Giannis's release is good. That's the main reason he's C. I just cannot. I don't like his release, man. It's not good. Plain and simple. Bad release. Another guy with a pretty bad release who's also kind of undersized and only 6'8" is Gus Gerard. His badges also are not that elite at this point in the year. Don't think he's that great of a card. I think he goes C or D as well for sure. James Worthy's going to go B for me. I don't think he's quite A tier. His release is good, but it's not crazy good. He doesn't have insane movement. He's not the best defensive card in the world. He's a very solid card, but he's not incredible. The next guy is Jerry Lucas, another guy who I really haven't looked at much. He's only 6'8". He is a decent slasher, but he's a little bit slow. Only 89 speed and excel. Solid defender, but Kispert base is decent. SIGs are not that good, though. It's on normal. Oh my gosh, I just realized his shot's on normal. Okay, yeah, that's a D tier card as well. Not a fan. John Isaac is borderline A tier for me still. I really think because of the fact that he's 6'11" and has a very good release and is one of the best defensive cards at this position, he's the perfect 3-and-D small forward, and I think that gives him a ton of value right there still in this game. That's an A tier guy. KD's going to go C for me, and y'all are going to say that's too low for KD. I don't like his release at all, and he doesn't move that well. He's just not that good of a card in my team this year. 2K has not given him a good enough release or good enough SIGs to really be an elite level card. Not bad. He's probably the best card who's going to be in C tier, but I just don't think he's amazing. I'm going to go KG in S tier because he's 6'11", moves well, and has a great release as well as being an elite all-around defender. This KG card is absolutely souped. We already know that. He's an absolute beast. Big fan of what KG can give you on the court. Definitely an S tier small forward. Kuzma could also go A, I think. That's tough. Is Kuzma A? Kuzma's going to go B for me. He's going to go high B. I think I'd take Jonathan Isaac over Kuzma, even though Kuzma's the better shot creator and maybe even has the better release because of the fact that Isaac has the extra size, the better player build, the better defense. I think that's a little bit more valuable at the small forward position. Kuzma might wind up getting moved up. He's right on that borderline, but for me, going to go B tier for now. Larry Bird's going to go D. That card sucks. The only reason I'm including him on the list is because he's a dark matter, but his release is so normally has terrible SIGs. He is horrible. He wasn't even a top 10 small forward the day the card was made available, which is pathetic considering he was a trophy case reward. Y'all all know my thoughts on that, though. I mean, we all know the community's thoughts in general on that whole debacle that was the trophy case. But regardless, we're going to go D tier for Larry Legend. LeBron's going to go B for me. I don't think he's quite C. I'm not a huge fan of LeBron, but he does move decently well. Release is not great, but it's not bad. I just don't think he's higher than B. He's a good card. He's not a great card at this point in the game. One guy I am noticing that I missed, by the way, is Jonathan Bender. That's another A tier small forward. I just want to keep that in mind. 7 foot with a good release and good movement. Better version of Pokashevsky. He's A tier. Another guy who's A tier is Mike Bantam. Really solid release. Moves well. Very good defender. Great dunk animations. Really nice defensive animations as well. Big fan of that card. Paulo's release isn't that great, and he doesn't move insanely well. I think he's C tier for sure. Purvis Ellison's another A tier small forward. Good, not insane. I think he's a pretty good card. I mean, he's a very good card. He's definitely like a top of A's. He's the second best small forward, in my opinion, in A. I think he's close to S tier and still an elite level card. I just don't think he's quite good enough to be in the S tier. Rashard Lewis is going to go low C for me. I don't hate his release, but I don't think he's that great of a card, to be completely honest. Not bad, just not amazing. Rob Williams is also going to go C because of bad release, because Rob Williams, I do think, has some value on the court, but his release is not very good. He is 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. 6'8" is a little undersized, but he's got a good player, but he's an elite level defender. He does have half limitless, clamp breaker, quick first step, really good speed. He's a great defender, has good dunk animation, super good slasher, just not a very good release. So for me, that holds him back to C tier. Another guy who's going to go C is Rudy Gay. Good release, but not quite, in my opinion. Good enough card all the way around at this point, a little bit undersized. Very good, not insane. There's the thing about the small forward position is it's so deep and so good. And by the way, I'm going to move Rashard Lewis down to top of D because I don't think he's that good. But the problem with the small forward position is that it is so deep and so good that we have guys in C tier who are legitimately good cards and legitimately usable cards still. Like, that's the thing about the small forward position is all these guys are really good except for the guys in D tier pretty much. And even some of the guys in D tier like Rodman and Rashard Lewis really are not that bad. But you got to put some guys lower down in tiers. So guys like Rudy Gay, KD, Giannis, etc., who are very usable and very popular cards still, they're going to go C tier for me. And then finally, we have Big Z, who's going to go S because he's 7'3". The mismatch ability there is just unseen before pretty much this year. I mean, it's ridiculous how souped up this Big Z card is and how unfair he kind of is considering he's 7'3" and can play small forward and shooting guard. I think that's ridiculous, but he is an S tier card for sure because of that size and the amount of mismatch that he can cause on the court. So this is my small forward tier list right now in my team. Let me know what y'all think of my list down in the comment section down below. If there's anybody you think I rank too high or too low, or anybody else besides Jonathan Bender, remember, I put him A tier, so keep that in mind. But if I missed anybody else and you'd like to hear my thoughts, feel free to leave that comment about that below. And if y'all did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.